Chamonix from Chamonix Films, and I'm going to show you some stuff for product photography. So whether you're a brand owner and you actually make products, or you're a photographer and you're working with brands, same tips apply, but from slightly different perspective, and we're going to cover them all. There's three main things that I want you to focus on: attention to detail, the interesting angles, and lighting. Okay? And what often happens is the photographer is so focused on their perspective of what looks good, photography-wise, they forget about what the brand owner is actually looking for. And then on the other side of things, the brand owner is so focused on the product, but they don't understand a lot of the photography. And so there's gaps to be filled on both sides, and I'm going to show you that now. So first, I want you to introduce you to Amazonia skincare products. I use them myself. Also one of my friends, also one of my clients. Stephanie is the creator, the formulator of these amazing products. All stuff from the Brazilian rainforest, and it's high performance and luxury, as she calls it. Solves all your skin problems. I can share more about that later. There's going to be links below where you can check it out, but she's our featured product today. So the first thing I want to talk about is attention to detail. So when you are shooting, and I'm specifically talking today about smartphones and Instagram, right? Marketing your photos online. Woo! Microphone just fell out of my dress. Don't look. Okay, when you're talking about products, first thing is attention to detail. There's attention to detail in the environment, and then also in the product itself. Now, the photographer is usually aware of the attention to detail in the background, and the product owner is usually paying attention to the product, which is why it's really helpful to work as a team. Okay, so attention to detail is number one. Can you even read that? I don't know, but I'm putting it on my wall as a note. So make things clean, okay? When you're working with your smartphone camera, you can use your clothes, but microfiber cloth too. Clean the back camera, clean the selfie camera, whatever you're gonna shoot with. It gets smudges, especially from the oil on your skin, and it makes your photos look like crap. So clean it up. I always do that, but first it's like a reflex. Pick up my phone, grab my shirt, clean it. Otherwise, there's just no point in taking the photo. It's gonna look blurry, and especially if you're shooting for your brand, you do not want blurry photos. So number one, clean your equipment. Number two, make sure that whatever environment you're shooting in is clean. So if you're gonna be shooting, for example, I'm shooting on this table today, then we're gonna clean it off, okay? Because I'm gonna start recording on my phone here for you. You're gonna see that there is a lot of dirt on the table, and that little bit of dirt will show up when we are shooting the product, and nobody wants to see that in their lifestyle, right? So a quick little cleanup job. The same thing applies if you are shooting, let's say you're at a restaurant and you're gonna shoot your product sitting on the table with your lunch because you wanna show off, like, here it is, my cute coffee cup and my cute outfit and my product. Like if I carried Stephanie's moisturizer and I wanted to show it being used in real life, then just make sure that your table's clean. Now, it doesn't have to be styled perfectly, you know, it can still have stuff on it, but just get rid of the dirt. And that's, like, I'm just trying to make a point of it because even as a photographer, it's easy to forget that. Like, you'll see little grimy bits in the corner or a little hair off the side. So really mindful. Hairs especially, if you're shooting really close up to products and on the camera, you will see just the tiniest little bit of hair. Actually, you legit can see it right now. Let me just show you with this phone. Okay, so if you're looking at this product, see that right there? There's like a little hair or something. And so, attention to detail, okay? So what we're looking for now is attention to detail in the environment. So is the surrounding area clean? Is the space white and nothing's in the way? Is the table cleared? If I'm going to photograph something like in my hands, are my hands clean? That's the environment. Then you're actually going to look at the product. And this is something that the photographers forget about, but the people who own the brands will notice. Like, hey, there's some fingerprints on the bottle. Or, you know, this is oil. Maybe there's kind of, like right there, there's some oil slipping out. There's a hair on the side of the product. There is some dirt and grime. Look at that. I actually use this stuff. So this are my products that I'm using as an example. That's disgusting. I need to clean that before I photograph it, okay? But if a photographer's all they're thinking about is, I'm gonna style it and make it look pretty, you might overlook that, okay? So before you even start taking photos, please just clean up your shit. Okay. All right, so that's one thing. Attention to detail in terms of cleanliness. Now there's also attention to detail in terms of the setting, the environment. So if I'm gonna just be taking photos on a white background here, I wanna make sure that I'm moving all of my cleaning products out of the way and that I have nothing obstructing this. Now I'm lucky because I have an entire workspace where I can take photos that's just white. If you have a cluttered room, if it's you have very small space, you can also do your product photography there. You just have to clear it out, right? Like I like this little box. I have this little box here, and you can carry this around and use this as a table. Like a little white box, a little brown box, whatever your brand wants. And then you just go into a corner, and this is like 1 foot by 2 feet. It's like not that big. And it can become your little mobile studio. And so then you just clear stuff out of the corner and have it there, okay? So that's a really good solution. All right, attention to detail. Other things, if you're gonna be photographing with a completely blank background, like I'm just gonna use the white wall, not such a big deal. You don't have to worry about what's back there. Apart from maybe the texture of the wall, like this is normal drywall, it kind of has that texture that's got little bubbles on it. If I put the product right up close, if I put the product really close to the wall, you're gonna see this texture. If you move the product away, now the product will be in focus, the background is gonna be further away, and the texture will be less obvious. Okay, let's see as we move closer, it becomes more obvious. As we move far away. Now it's not just moving the camera away, it's also moving the product. Because if the product stays close to the wall, then the camera is still focusing. The focus point is here. If you move the product away from the wall, now the focus point is further away from the wall. So what you need to focus on is the product, and if you want things in the background to be blurrier, then the product needs to move away from the background. So everything back there gets blurry. If you move the product into the background, it now becomes part of it. The camera's focusing on what's back there, which includes the background stuff. Another good example now, if you're not using a solid background, but you're gonna have like a room behind you, like you wanna show off the restaurant or something, same thing goes. Here's the product, it's in focus, and everything back there is blurry. If I move the product close up to the product, other stuff, it's now everything is in focus back there. Okay, so the product is your main highlight. If you don't want something to be dramatically in focus like this, then you need to focus instead on the product. Everything else will be blurry. So obviously back there it's ugly because there's cleaning supplies. But if we were in a beautiful restaurant or cafe or something, then you might like to see those things in the background, like the tables and the windows and the people, and you know, it sets an environment. So before you start shooting, you're thinking first about the environment you're in and whether or not you want to show it off. So if you're taking photos, there's really three reasons, and let's just jump into them. 3 reasons why you're taking photos for your brand. Number 1 is whiteness for your shop. Can you read that? Yeah, you can read that. Whiteness